Hey Vikings fans, Tyler here to talk to you about Pick and Shovelware and pickandshovelware.com. T-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of fun, different Minnesota sports clothing items and apparel options. We got a deal going with them right now where if you buy whatever you want, enter the promo code Bleeding Purple, all one word, and you will get free shipping. That is promo code Bleeding Purple, pickandshovelware.com. Make sure you go ahead and check it out. Okay, let's start the show. Welcome in to Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. My name is Tyler Haig, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Adam Patrick. Adam, I can see my own breath right now because it's freezing here. You're not here. What's the temperature there for you? Adam, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, what's the temperature there? It's cold here.
It's a brisk 70.
Awesome. If you're watching the video right now, which most people are not because we are, doing this live, you can see my breath on the video because I'm in the garage and it's cold in the garage.
I did just read that Hugh Jackson is joining the Bengals coaching staff.
Oh, really? I felt like Hugh Jackson got a raw deal. That's maybe a conversation for another day.
I mean, 2 wins in 2.5 seasons. He's definitely got a raw deal.
I was going to say, it's hard to argue with the record. Let me get there, Adam. This is what happens when we don't have a Vikings game to talk about. We all of a sudden start throwing out Cleveland Browns, Hugh Jackson takes.
Baker Mayfield feeling dangerous.
I kind of like him. I kind of like Mayfield.
I like him too. He's like a more sophisticated, better Johnny Manziel.
I like it. Sophisticated.
Like he's got the cockiness.
The rich man's Johnny Manziel.
He can actually play.
Yeah, he can. He does have a little bit more of the what do you want to say? Quarterbacking aptitude.
Yeah,
I guess he's a little bit better that way.
Pretty good arm.
So yes, it is bye week. Vikings off. Boring. Did you watch any of the games this week? I mean, of course you watched some. I watched some too.
Yeah.
I guess my real question is, what stood out to you this week?
Just watched Red Zone. The Bills destroying the Jets? What?
The
and
Bills.
It was so who sucks more that the Vikings played this year, the Jets or the Bills?
It's so crazy to me. That was the weirdest score of the whole. But that was Matt Barkley. That was Matt Barkley playing quarterback.
Yeah. They threw a pass to a offensive lineman. Touchdown pass.
It's just nothing's safe anymore.
The Patriots score kind of surprised me too. It's not that they lost, but just how much they lost by 24 points. Titans. I didn't think the Titans were that good.
I think the only people who can beat the Patriots like that are guys who used to be, either played or coached with them. Because, right, didn't Vrabel do that? And didn't Patricia and the Lions just beat the poop out of them? I don't ever think Josh McDaniels did that to Belichick, did he?
So.
I don't think so either. They one of the illustrations, one of the stats that they were showing was all of the Belichick coaching tree and their
it's not that good
overall. Really not that good at all. Some are better than others. Who's Texans guy, Bill O'Brien. He was not bad. I kind of like him.
I feel like Andy Reid probably has one of the best coaching trees.
Yeah.
In the NFL, he's got Matt Nagy this year, and he worked with Doug Peterson, Pat Shermer, even.
Yeah.
A bunch of guys were on that Eagles staff when he was there for, what, like 10 years?
Yeah, when they were winning or going to the NFC Championship every year. And
Yep.
yeah, those were good teams. And I don't want to say quietly because it wasn't very quiet to go to that many NFC Championships, but like they were consistently contenders.
And they were
kinda gets
tolerable, too. Like, now I feel like the Eagles are I just want them to lose every week.
Mm-hmm. And they sure did this week, didn't they? To Dallas.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
exciting. And the Cowboys. Now people are all excited about the Cowboys. God, give me a break. Give
They
me
beat the
a
Eagles.
break.
It's not like the Eagles are that good this year either. I mean, it was still a good win. It was on the road, but
Colin Cowherd still has the Eagles were they under 500 before this week? I think they were at 500 this week. He still has them as one of his 4 Super Bowl contenders.
I think he had the Ravens too earlier in the
buddy.
year. So.
This isn't last year's Eagles. I don't understand what the big thing is to comprehend is that they're not playing as well. They lost a bunch of their coaches. I just don't understand why it's so difficult to.
Yeah, a lot of their players are hurt too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lost their running back. They lost another defensive back last night. So it's hard to do when you don't have the same players.
It is, or the same coaches.
We found out again yesterday that the Lions are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Matt Patricia makes it until the end of the year.
You don't. Oh man, see, I think it's so dumb to hire a coach and then fire him in the same year. No matter how poorly the season goes, it's so dumb to hire somebody and then get rid of him.
I don't know. Sometimes it's just it's just not working. Just not a good fit. And you don't realize that until you get out there and you see that maybe he's not that good.
Maybe this isn't the guy we wanted after all.
Because it's usually in your first year as a coach, unless your team was horrible, which the Lions were not.
No, they were not.
They were not horrible. Now they are.
Mm-hmm.
That should not be how they are playing this year. They should not have regressed. I know he's trying to get in there and have his own players and stuff or whatever, but a team that was, what are they, 500 last year? They should not have gotten worse.
No, they should not have.
If anything, they should have improved.
Do you think the Golden Tate move was kind of like hey, we're giving up on this season, or do you think that was just we're going to make a move on a guy that we're probably not going to be able to retain?
Yeah,
that feels like the catalyst, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it has more to do with the offseason than it does. I mean, it's easy to be oh, they're quitting on the season, but they also traded for a defensive tackle. So
yeah. People
forget about that.
It's true. I forget about that.
So, yeah, and then the Bears, I don't know. I guess we'll see on Sunday night how for real they are, I guess.
Yeah, I just am not convinced on Trubisky yet, and I'm also not. Their defense is outstanding, I get it. But I don't.
But who they played?
That's what I'm saying, and I don't feel like there's been a quarterback that can really challenge what they're doing. I think they are dictating what's happening to every offense that they're going up against, and eventually they're going to find an offense that's not going to let that happen, I guess.
They almost beat the Patriots, but the Patriots aren't even that great this year. I mean, they're 7-3, but they're not the 7-3 team of the past or whatever.
No, they do this every year. They lose a couple games early because they're playing tough teams, and then they go and play their horrible division and beat up on them and figure everything out and pile up the wins, and then the playoffs show up and everybody's afraid of them.
How lucky is that? Just for 15 years, just be in a division where all 3 teams suck.
I hate it. I'm over it now. I want it to be done. 18 years is enough. Get out of my life,
they deserve a couple, 4-12, 5-11.
Yeah, man, just a couple of bad seasons, and make Boston bad at one sport, please.
It's so weird that people kids who were born in 2005 have no idea what it's like to root for a bad Boston sports team that's bad.
It's championship.
They've seen the Red Sox win the World Series, the Patriots,
the Celtics win a championship,
the Bruins.
It's so dumb.
It's tough out there.
And here we are. Here I am in Minnesota, seeing my breath, freezing my butt off, doing a podcast about a team that hasn't ever won a Super Bowl.
Hey, you got the links. The links.
Yep. We got the links.
Even they pooped the bed this year.
Yeah, they were bad last year too. And now Lindsey Whalen's gone, so I really got no reason to root for them anymore. There's no Minnesotans out there, so.
Oh, wow.
Maybe maybe that was a little premature as far as my severing fandom with the Lynx goes, but you got to take what you can get in Minnesota, and they're definitely going to be good. But
I don't think there was a whole lot to take away from this week. There was just a lot of blowouts, a lot of boring games. The Rams game, that was probably like maybe the best game of the day. You see Aaron Donald go after some dude after the game. He put his helmet on to go after.
That was the part that intrigued me. Was he was going to like fight with the guy, but he put his helmet on.
Mm-hmm. So
if you're gonna punch people, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he had his helmet on too. Yeah, defending it. I mean, that makes sense. But
he took his pads off.
Yeah, it was very confusing to me. And then also like gave somebody a pound as he was like
on the way,
and then went and like roughed this guy up.
1 second, I just gotta
hang out. I'll talk to you in a second, bud. Yeah, just gotta go grab this guy's face.
Yeah,
it was confusing.
Do you think he'll get suspended for that?
I don't know about suspended. Maybe.
I mean, seeking out a player to fight him.
It's pretty aggressive, and especially
guys get suspended for way less,
and especially that it's after the game too. I think that's the thing that kind of separates is like that might make it more serious in the eyes of the NFL because that they cannot have. They cannot have post game riot happening. That's not an option. Yeah. Maybe the biggest story out of that game though was Kupp getting ACL because although they have a lot of weapons. On offense, but he's been really good and is
he might be their best receiver.
Yeah, and is like one of the most important parts on that team. You know, it feels like the offense isn't gonna have as easy of a time moving the ball without him. He's one of those Jordy Nelson types.
Vikings have to play the Rams in the playoffs. You know, that'll make it a little easier.
Totally, and it'll basically be a home game no matter where it's played. So,
yes,
I'm into it.
No one roots for the Rams in LA. Not that they can anymore because all their houses are burned down.
I was just going to say that. You're still good. It looks like you're in the house still, so that's awesome.
We don't get fires down here.
Okay, good.
It's too south. We're too close to the water.
Okay.
Not that Malibu is far from the water.
I was going to say, isn't a lot of those... I'm not a big geography guy.
Yeah, that was started by a power line. Then, so.
You know, I was talking about that at work the other... It's beautiful, and the water, and mountains, and wonderful. Somebody flicks a cigarette, and the whole thing is on fire, and it looks like the apocalypse.
It's
and like
so dry.
Oh my goodness, that scares I don't know if I could handle that. How many people use electronic e-cigs there? I mean, is it because it's just safer? I would. Can't be flicking your cigarette butts all over the place over there.
People smoking douche flutes out here.
Yeah. Oh man, I have not heard that, and that is a wonderful description of that product. I am going to use that later on. So let's get to, I guess, a little bit of Vikings news because there wasn't a lot, but they did sign former Detroit Lion Ameer Abdullah. What do you make of this? They correct me if I'm wrong, but they moved Rock Thomas to waivers practice squad.
I think he's hurt too.
Yeah, he is. Yes, I was going to add that. Thank you for reminding me.
I mean, I think it's a good move in the fact that it's not really that big of a risk. I think it adds depth to their. He's got experience in the NFL, in the NFC North, obviously. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's kind of like a shifty kind of running back that can, make people miss in the open field. He's not that big. I think he's like 5'9", 200 pounds. Mm-hmm. He has a tendency to fumble, which is not something you want to have in that offense that already has Kirk Cousins.
I was going to say, we got Kirk Cousins. That's no problem for us. We're used to it.
I think they might have added him more for his kick return abilities because he did a lot of that in Detroit. And
okay.
I'm not sure if they want Marcus Shales doing punt return and kick return.
Yeah.
So
they've been trying different because wasn't Holton Hill was there for a hot minute, and now he's not been doing it.
I think Elton Robinson even did a couple times.
Yeah.
Back there. So they're trying to figure stuff out. I think it's a good add for depth, but I wouldn't be surprised, if they needed help at some other position if they just got rid of him too. So.
Yeah, definitely. I also noticed that Rock Thomas was not, even though he was injured, he was not released on like the injury whatever version of the release, so he cleared waivers fine and is now on the practice squad.
Yeah.
No.
Which is weird because before the season even started, everyone was like, oh, if they like waive Rock Thomas or Mike Boone, someone's going to snatch him up right away because they had such a good preseason, and then nobody touched Rock Thomas.
It's amazing how much differently you can look at the same players during that part of the preseason and now when the season is going. I thought the same thing about Chad Beebe, where I was like, there's no way he's making it through waivers onto the practice squad. And maybe we were right, but now playing Rock Thomas, who I think they did keep to like, well, they can't put him on the, somebody will snatch him up, and now he passes through waivers, no problem. Granted, was injured, but still very different. Say the
same thing about Case Keenum last year.
Mm-hmm.
He did not have a good preseason.
No, he did not.
He barely beat out Taylor Heineke, and then he went and had the season he had.
I went to training camp that year, and I remember being shocked at the difference between Sam Bradford, how good Sam Bradford looked compared to Case Keenum. Which
arm-wise.
Well, yeah, and then at the end of the season,
accuracy.
Like, yeah. Maybe accuracy a little bit.
Not mobility.
Yeah, it just came off. Yeah, not mobility, no. It just came. The ball came off of his hand different. He looked like a.
I'm surprised he didn't get signed yet.
What? Say that again.
Bradford. I'm surprised Bradford didn't get signed yet.
Yeah.
All the teams out there that need quarterback help, I guess they're not, that desperate for a number one pick.
Hey man, Matt Barkley looked good.
He did.
It's no problem. We got quarterbacks all over the place. Real quick about quarterbacks and maybe a little bit of... So the Packers, right? The Packers seem very stuck in an old version of an
Aaron
offense.
Rodgers guy, yeah. They
well, yeah, stuck with him. But no, their offense is like... Everybody else is looking... I was listening to... I believe it was Trent Dilfer who said it. I could be wrong on that. But offenses are looking more like college offenses. Like the Rams offense looks more like a college offense than... the Packers offense does by a lot. Do you think that some of the success that these quarterbacks are having, these younger dudes, do you think that is because coaches are finally adapting what they're doing to the personnel that they have in front of them?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you think that it's these quarterbacks are just have more reps and have more practice and are more knowledgeable about the position?
Oh, a little bit of that too, but look at Norv Turner this year. He could have just gone into Carolina and been like, all right, Cam, we're just going to make you, 7-step dropbacks every play, and then you'll be amazing. And he was like, no, we're going to run shotgun, we're going to run spread, we're going to run read option,
double reverses.
Christian McCaffrey out here will throw some screens and reverses, and
flea flickers, halfback passes.
I think not only like coordinators but head coaches are starting to realize having a great defense in this league is not really going to do you a whole good the way the rules are set up these days. If you're better off having an offense like the Rams or the Chiefs and having an okay defense. You don't want to have a horrible defense, but if you have a offense that can score at will and then just an okay defense that won't kill you, then that's kind of the formula that teams are going with these days. Even with the Saints, their defense is not amazing, but they make plays when they have to and get the job done. I mean, actually, they killed the Bengals yesterday. Teddy got in the game.
Did he really? Oh my god!
Yeah,
how did I miss it?
That's how much they were winning by. It was like 51.
It was like 51-14 or something was the final. Yeah, I saw the score go up. Man, of course Teddy played.
I think Teddy went in with like 9 minutes to go.
Jeez Louise, get some snaps, young man. That's insane. You're right, though. It is easier in the NFL now to survive with an okay to mediocre defense and a good offense than it is to have a good to great defense and a mediocre offense. Because if you can't score, you are going to get killed. Yeah.
That's why the Vikings signed Kirk Cousins.
Hundo P.
If not, they just would have kept Case Keenum and been just satisfied.
Could you imagine what the record of this team would be right now if Case Keenum was...
I don't even want to...
It's a
dive
slippery
into.
slope to go down.
Yeah.
It could be a whole separate episode. We probably don't need. That's probably a good decision on your part, Adam. Well done. Let's talk about Sheree Floyd, who, of course, drafted by the Vikings. He played for like a season or two. One season, maybe?
Two
Two
no,
seasons.
3 seasons.
3 seasons. You're kidding me.
Yep.
Really?
He was drafted in 2013.
Oh, wow. But then he gets hurt. He was the guy that
Patterson.
Zimmer talked about as like he's
Always hurt.
Yeah, always hurt. It's like almost insinuating that it was like a weakness thing. Well, turns out he had a botched surgery, and he's now bringing a $180 million lawsuit.
I think that was one of the last times Mike Zimmer commented on a player's injury.
I think it was. Yeah.
It's like, I can't do that anymore.
Oh, that was ugly. That was really bad. I feel bad for Sharif Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you at on the $180 million number? Because a lot of people are kind of balking at that, but realistically, if you're looking at the market, endorsements?
Yeah, that's based on what he could have potentially earned. Actually, I think it's based on like what the highest, defensive tackles are making these days, and like based on that, what he could have earned. Because, you got Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh, guys like that.
He was on his way, wasn't he?
He was
real good.
He was pretty. When he was in there, he was good. When he wasn't hurt all the time, which he wasn't. I think he missed like 4 games. He didn't miss that many.
Yeah.
But I do remember. I think his knee was an issue. I think it was 2016, heading into the season, and I think the Vikings and him, or at least he thought he'd be fine with just like physical therapy or something. And then he played a game, and then they were like, no. So he had to get like a microscope surgery or whatever, and he got some nerve damage. So,
and
now
that was renowned surgeon Dr. James Andrews.
Yeah,
he's done
not
everybody's surgery.
Yeah, not everybody's perfect. I think they can afford that lawsuit. Obviously, they're going to fight it, but it's unfortunate because his career is no longer. But I don't like. I'm not against him trying to get compensation for his career that was taken away from him.
Yeah, through something that was not his fault, through a doctor that he got through the team. And I read, I should have this.
I don't think the Vikings are being sued. I don't think they're included.
No, they're not. That was what I was going to say. I read that it was important to them that they specified that it was not. They were not suing the Vikings, but there are members of the Vikings staff who could be. Summoned to testify in the court proceedings.
Because I think they're expecting it to go to trial. Yeah. So. Which should be fun.
Yeah, that what a huge bummer all the way around. Young man loses his career. Of course, I'm imagining he's passionate about football because he's been playing it his whole life, and now he's a professional. And that's all gone. You lose a bunch of money. Vikings are out of draft pick. Just sucks for everybody.
The Bills just released Nathan Peterman. The Vikings pick him up, right?
Yeah, for sure. Did I drip just then? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Might be getting a little bit drooly over Nathan Peterman. I can't even say it with a straight
He's thrown a lot of touchdowns this year. Not to his team.
I was going to say, which side?
Yeah. Maybe the Bears should sign him. I think they could Sunday night.
I'm about to turn with Peterman where I might be a Peterman defender. Because I feel like it's getting to the point now where it's like, hey, guys, come on.
Nah, I don't think so.
Leave Peterman alone here. It's not his fault.
That's like
he's
sticking up for Blair Walsh.
No, it's not. It's like sticking up for TJ Clemmings. TJ Clemmings. They're in the same group. The you shouldn't have been out here, it's not your fault group.
I don't even know, but they drafted Peter. I think Peterman was like 4th or 5th round pick. So he wasn't undrafted or anything. They obviously thought highly of him.
Yeah. But after
some guys,
a couple of games, you probably should have not had him in there anymore. Well, all right. Happy trails to Peterman. Hope you land on your feet, bub.
Somebody will pick him up.
They always
do. The Raiders, probably.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what's John Gruden up to these days? Peterman. Head over to Oakland. See what you can do.
He's building a franchise that everyone wants to play for.
That is... I don't even know what to say about that.
Oh,
What?
did you see Derek Carr yesterday? How he was like, I think it was fourth down with his team trailing, and he threw the ball away.
Awesome. Just awesome. Those are my favorite. Throwing the ball away is impressive, but that might be like giving up. But my favorite are the clocking it on fourth down. Because you know that he had no idea. He realized with everybody else at the game that it wasn't his ball anymore. Those are my favorite. But yeah, throwing it away, fourth down, not a good look. Not a good look, Mr. Carr. I wonder what Gruden thinks about that. I wonder if that will affect his decision for Derek Carr being the quarterback going forward, or if that's already been decided and he isn't the guy.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded to like the Giants or something next year.
Yeah, that would be a smart move actually for them. Who is their? Oh, that's right. They didn't take when they took Saquon Barkley. Yeah, yeah, they should probably make that move. Former Viking news, Adrian Peterson, barf, says it would be fun to beat Minnesota in the playoffs. What say you to that?
Beating.
First of all, that's implying that Washington's going to get to the playoffs.
Well, he knows a lot about beating. So.
Oh, wow. I missed that. I'm glad you're...
I want to make sure I got that.
Make sure that one's in. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, I think he was egged on about this question. I read it. It came from he was on a radio show, and they probably were like, "What do you think if you met the Vikings in the playoffs?"
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I mean, but he's never been shy ever since he left about saying how he'd like to stick it to him or whatever, even though the Vikings stuck with him during all his stupidity in the last couple of years.
It's absolutely incredible how professional athletes can morph things into how it suits them.
He also said that it's a class organization or whatever, and blah blah blah. But I mean, he just threw that to cover his ass.
Yeah, because he knew that he was going to have to.
That would actually be
because he knew that quote was going to have to be taken out of context later when he was asked.
I think that would be an interesting matchup if they were to meet in the playoffs. Not only because of Peterson and the Vikings, but it would be Kirk Cousins against the Redskins.
Alex Smith. And if you'll remember, there was a lot of bulletin board material going on early in the preseason about how great of a leader and how blah, 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 all these things that Alex Smith was. What does that division look like now? Because Washington is leading that division.
6-3?
Dallas is second now? God, they might win that division. That sucks.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are 4-5.
Yeah, Eagles are not looking real hot right now.
No, they got to win
it makes me happy all over.
Almost all of their games probably to get in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Oh, well.
And 2 weeks ago, the coach was excited about the fact that they're the underdogs again. We got to prove it to these guys. Woo.
Yeah, Super Bowl champions, underdog.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, man, I would like to beat Adrian Peterson in the playoffs, but I'm not going to lie to you, Adam. I feel like this fan base has kind of moved on from Adrian Peterson. I don't know if too many people
it's been a while.
would even be that wound up about the... I'm sure the pregame stuff.
I think so. Yeah, the media, the press and stuff, they would all pump it up.
That's true. So yeah, I guess.
But last year when they played Peterson, I think he had 18 total yards when he was with the Saints, and he was all like, "I'm gonna run all over him."
He was jawing at Sean Payton. That
was that game. Yeah, that was fun.
That was great.
And then he was gone 3 games later.
Yep. Off to Arizona.
But I mean, he's playing good this year. I think he's on pace to get 1,200 rushing yards,
which is just insanity. That he's playing well.
I'm pretty sure he's their only offense though, because I don't think Alex Smith is lighting the scoreboard up.
Yeah. Can you name any of their wide receivers? I don't know if I can.
Josh Dotson.
Oh yeah, yep, that was one. I probably would have gotten there eventually.
Channing Crowder, he's there too.
No, would have gotten that one. Oh, crap. Yeah,
that's about it. Oh, and Jordan Reed, their tight end.
Oh yeah, tight end. Yeah. Yep.
And Vernon Davis.
And Mark Ripon.
Doug Williams.
Yes. Well, yeah, Peterson. I don't know, man. Washington, the way this playoff situation is shaping up, I don't know if they'll have to play Washington, but I feel like the Vikings are more than capable of beating whoever is going to wind up coming out of
Which stadium
that
would you
division.
not feel confident about the Vikings going in and getting a win in the playoffs?
Honestly, I don't. New Orleans is without a
Yeah.
doubt the scariest, and I feel like that's the closest to it. But everybody else, there's like not even a like. LA doesn't scare me at all. Washington doesn't scare me
About the
at
Bears.
all. That one scares me a little bit just because they have done so many terrible things as a football
Okay.
team in Chicago that would kind of
Look it up.
worry me. But
I looked it up yesterday. I think they have 3 wins in Chicago since 2007.
wow, that stadium is just like where weird things, like strange things happen to the Vikings there. They always play poorly.
Like the clock stopped or something weird. Like,
Yeah.
or it went out like 2 years ago.
It's
They just-
always something. There's always some weird thing happening. Or like this Sunday, it's like the wind is going to probably be like gusting
Well,
over 40 miles an hour or some
it's a
ridiculous
windy
thing.
city.
You know, that's not because of the actual wind. That's because of politicians. And, yep, that's...
Really?
You should look that up. Yes, that's actual... Okay, let me explain it all the way now.
No.
No. Yeah, politicians. Windy, talking politicians full of hot air,
Really?
windy city. Yes, I promise you. That is like actually why they call it the windy
This
city.
is windy.
Well, yeah, it's super windy, but that's not why they call it that. They call it windy because of the windy BS politicians. I don't know.
Blowhards?
Yeah, blowhards. Thank you. That was the word I was trying to not say out loud.
Well, we're live, so I figured I'd say it.
I'm glad you did. Let's get to our MidSeason Awards. Our first annual MidSeason by halfway awards.
Da-da-da-da.
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Don't have a sounder for that yet, but we'll get one for next year. Or for the end of this season.
We'll have a bigger budget.
Let's start with the offensive MVP. Your nominees are Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen. We're going to go Stephon Diggs third. It doesn't really matter because it's just basically between those two. Who do you choose?
I mean,
Four.
You gotta go with Adam Thielen, right?
I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on pace to... I think he's still on pace to set the NFL single-season reception mark. On pace to set the Vikings single-season record for yards in the season. He's got, 7 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns?
How many yards did he finish with in that last game? It was like 22 yards.
Yeah.
Even with that total, still averaging over 100 yards a game.
Yeah. I think he only needs 51 or something like that to get 1,000.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. Where do you stand on the argument that he doesn't get those numbers if Kirk Cousins isn't throwing him the ball? Because I've heard that.
That's fine. But, I mean, did they not watch the past 2 seasons with Case Keenum throwing him the ball and Sam
been
Bradford? And
He's been pretty good.
yeah.
It
I
feels
know.
like a natural progression to me.
I do think that having Stephon Diggs out there does help him, but I think having Adam Thielen out there helps Stephon Diggs too. So,
And I think having both of those guys out there helps Kirk Cousins.
yes.
And to be perfectly honest, I think a lot of quarterbacks could throw the ball to Adam Thielen. Not to take anything away from Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Thielen's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I think just about every quarterback would love to have Thielen on his team. Because pretty much, Case Keenum, not the most accurate quarterback. He was just throwing the ball just in the direction of Thielen a lot of times last year, and
And
the dude came down with it.
did it in a lot of important situations. And had Adam Thielen come down with it. So, yep, I will agree with that. Adam Thielen is the offensive MVP so far. Next up, the defensive MVP. The nominees are Danielle Hunter. You're yawning while I'm presenting, Adam. Come on. Jeez. Okay. So the first nominee was Danielle Hunter. Now, I don't see any applause from... Thank you, Adam. Could you just participate in the bit, please? All right, Danielle Hunter, second one. We're going to go Anthony Barr. That's a bad nomination.
No.
Harrison Smith. That's a better nomination. We're going to leave Kendricks off. Yeah, okay, Kendricks is on the ballot. Sheldon Richardson. We'll end it there. Yeah, because Mike Hughes got hurt. So. Who is your defensive MVP? These are pretty easy words, actually.
Yeah. I mean, the current NFL sack leader. I think he's still a leader. Danielle Hunter.
Yep. Most sacks in the NFL. Pretty impressive. Do you know how much they're paying him? Do they have to sign him to an extension anytime soon?
No, they already did that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They signed him to a long-term deal when it was cheap before he started wrecking the NFL. Like, he's wrecking the NFL right now.
Let's see.
Good work, Danielle.
Oh, Aaron Donald passed him yesterday.
Oh, did he? As soon as I said I was like, I don't know if that's
Aaron Donald has 12 and a half now for him, and Danielle Hunter has 11 and a half.
Well, the last time he played,
get back on the horse.
Yeah,
so he'll
definitely take the lead again.
Man, Everson Griffin back on the field there with Danielle Hunter. It's real scary. And Linval Joseph's healthy, and Sheldon Richardson's still out there. If they can stay healthy for the rest of the year, it's going to help.
It's going to help a lot. And now that we kind of know that secondary is, although young and we kind of thought was maybe had some depth issues, there are a lot of guys that can play there, and they should be in real good shape going forward.
Yeah, Anthony Harris is playing really good this year. I'm guessing Sendejo will probably be back this week, but I'm not super excited. Or I'm not wishing he could hurry up and get back already. But we'll see. Maybe they'll come up with a package where he doesn't play the majority of the snaps, and they keep rotating guys in there.
I thought when Iloka came over, I was just, in my brain, I thought there were going to be all these different exotic formations that we had never seen before, and they were going to be throwing safeties all over the field and moving guys around, and that hasn't really been the case. And I was hoping it would have been. But maybe with Sendejo back, maybe.
I think you could even, for the defensive MVP, you could even just include the entire defensive depth. Mm-hmm. For the way that they've been able to perform and pretty much keep the defense playing at the same level despite what they have, 3 or 4 starters out the last couple games.
Yeah. And there was a stretch there where it could have really gotten ugly, and the record really could have been not so hot at this point if that depth doesn't show itself. That's a great point, Adam. Let's talk about the most surprising. Who would you award most surprising? Pleasantly surprising. Pleasant surprise.
Both offense and defense?
No, I guess let's just
one.
Yeah, just one was what I was thinking. We can do
probably Brian O'Neill. Right tackle.
Yeah.
Rookie.
Yeah.
So-called project.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't given up a sack this year. It's pretty good.
Real good.
For, the track record that the Vikings have with young offensive linemen, that's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. And especially the way he was talked about when he was drafted, where it was, he's a project, and he's too small, and he's this, and he's that, to see him come in and play the way he's been playing. Very, very pleasantly surprising. You could also talk about on defense, you mentioned him. Harris has been playing great. Holton Hill, I think, has been pleasantly surprising. I mean, we kind of knew he was going to be good, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to be this good. Hughes is hurt now too, but that could also be, for the midway point, that's
Stephen
where
Weatherly.
I would go. Yeah, Weatherly also.
I think he's third on the team in pressures this year.
God, who else has been good that I wasn't really expecting?
Eric Wilson's done a nice job filling in for Anthony Barr. Mm-hmm. That's not too hard these days.
Yes, he has. Shots fired. Who is your most disappointing? Your bummer surprise?
He does have career highs and catches, yards, and touchdowns for a single season, but you got to go with Treadwell.
See, I'm not going Treadwell for all those reasons.
Year 3, first-round pick. He should be putting up numbers like Diggs or Thielen.
Oh, he's putting up numbers. Career high in receptions, career high in touchdowns.
Yeah.
Career high in drops.
15-yard penalties.
It's hard to argue with Treadwell as the most disappointing. However, they spent was it a 4th or a 5th round pick on that stupid kicker. That's the most disappointing thing to me. That was so dumb.
Oh, I didn't know you could pick guys that weren't on the team anymore.
Wow, I'm breaking the rules a little bit.
All right.
Because, I mean, that was so bad.
Go
But yeah, all right. I'll change my pick because you're right. We'll stick to guys that are on the team. Most disappointing. Treadwell, yeah.
Like
I would you could maybe go. Yeah, I was gonna say you could maybe go Isadora. You could maybe go.
I don't think Isadora's been that bad. Mike Remmers has been pretty horrible.
Yeah, you got to go Treadwell, don't you? Anthony Barr. That maybe could be blamed on injury though.
That's part of being a good player though.
And aren't we always doing that with him? Oh, he had a bad season. Well, he was hurt. It's like, well, it's the NFL. Still a bad season.
Well, I think I base my disappointment on the fact that, all off season and training camp, all this hype surrounded him of, being like, oh, now he's going to be involved in this pass rush and be a big time pass rusher this year and get back to his roots or whatever, and no sacks. Sometimes.
No.
And he's got like 10 pressures. Right.
Basically been a non-factor. And if you'll remember, I mean, there were some arguments about who should be the guy that does not get signed because of the Cousins deal. And, oh, my God, and you can't sign Cousins because Barr. And now that is
Vikings look pretty smart.
not feeling as scary as it was. Yeah, so maybe Barr would be the most disappointing.
Maybe the Vikings front office knows what they're doing. I mean, sometimes they mess up and draft kickers, but,
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times they probably know what they're doing.
Yeah, and they also have done... See, here's the argument, because that's an easy... Fire Rick Spielman, he sucks, can't draft an offensive lineman, blah, 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 blah.
Has drafted, though.
That's what I was going to say.
Stephon Diggs.
Diggs in the late round. Undrafted free agents, these guys.
Everson Griffin,
yes,
4th round pick.
yes,
Danielle Hunter.
Yes. All project guys. Holton Hill, undrafted free agent. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job, I would say.
Yeah.
I think he's going to keep his job. I think he's going to keep his job.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Well, that was it. That was the MidSeason Awards.
All right.
Oh, man. God dang it, Adam. We've had this audience button the whole bleeping time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And now it sounds like there's a crowd. You can't hear it, but it sounds like there's a crowd.
Nice. All right.
I mean, it's pretty good. So that was the MidSeason Awards. I wonder when okay, there it's done now. Let's move on to the Bears.
Okay.
What do you? Well, I mean, we talked a little bit about the Bears as far as like what we think they are. I'm not a big Trubisky believer. I don't think they've had. I mean, Tom Brady's pretty good, but I think the Vikings can win that game.
Khalil Mack is back.
Mm-hmm. How afraid of him are you?
Yeah, very.
Very, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I don't think David Morgan's going to play.
And we've talked about that.
He didn't get a serious knee injury, but I think I saw he's going to miss some time.
God dang it!
So yeah, that's not something to look forward to.
No, it's not.
So yeah, the Vikings are gonna have to get rid of the ball quick. Kirk Cousins cannot sit in that pocket and just look like a deer in the headlights out there holding onto the ball for 6 seconds.
Oh God! If they'll lose 100-0 if he thinks he can hold the ball.
Call some screens, get the ball out to Diggs and Thielen quick. Get creative, make Khalil Mack run all over the field. Don't just give him a straight shot.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback, but yeah, honestly, I don't even think Trubisky really needs to do much for if the Bears, if their defense makes a bunch of plays.
Yeah,
So,
that'll be the key. Will be how many big plays do the Bears have on defense? Because it won't even.
Yeah, that's the biggest factor is the Vikings' offensive line against the Bears' pass rush, for sure.
Oh man. Hopefully they can use Dalvin Cook in a way that will alleviate some of that pressure. But when you have a guy like Mack, he just runs all over the place and wreaks havoc. It's kind of hard to imagine the Vikings offense really functioning at a high level.
Yeah, if they hit on a couple screen passes, then obviously the Bears aren't going to rush as many guy, so that could be that's something they got to get going early to get rid of that pass rush. But yeah, it's gonna be. They've had 2 weeks to prepare, so that's good at least. I think there's gonna be more emphasis on the run.
Yeah.
Second half of the season, it's gonna get colder.
Yep.
Mike Zimmer's gonna want to rely on his defense more. And not, put the game on the shoulders of Kirk Cousins, who, he's shown at times he can ball out pretty hard, but then there's other times where he makes some boneheaded plays and costs you a touchdown.
It's true. He can do that. And you're totally right about the shifting of the season going into like the running. Yes. Get the ball out of your hands fast.
Throw it away.
Please.
Just throw it away. Like if you don't see anyone, just throw it away. Mm-hmm. Don't try and run down the field. With both your hands on the ball, and then it gets knocked out of your hands. Just throw it away. Just throw it away. Give yourself another chance.
I just am having like terrible, frightening visions of Khalil Mack just destroying Kirk Cousins and the ball flying out and it happening repeatedly, and I don't like it. It concerns me.
It's a scary thought to have. Yeah,
it is. Man, do you think the Vikings defense can this be like a defensive battle? Like, is this going to be like a 7-10 game, or is this going to be like a...
like 16-13.
Yeah. Man, oh man. It's just...
Turnovers is pretty much probably going to make a difference.
Definitely. If the Vikings can take care of the football, they should be okay. Because I have a really tough time believing that Mitch Trubisky is going to be able to avoid a turnover at some point in that game. I feel like Zimmer's defense is too tough.
If the Vikings can, get ahead quickly, like by 10 or 14 points early, just force the Bears to pass a lot, I think they can do pretty well. But yeah, it's probably going to be close. Divisional game on the road. It was close last year. I think they won. That was the Bradford game where.
Oh yeah, where he was falling over for no reason.
Thought he could play, but just fell down every time. Case Keenum had to lead him.
Yeah, and they won that game. Case Keenum.
That was also the Duck Grey Duck.
Oh, was it the Duck Grey Duck game? Oh.
Yeah.
Real quick on the Duck Grey Duck, I feel like the Vikings celebrations not as good the last couple of weeks. I thought Dead Arm Dance was a peak move. I think that was just super high quality.
What's Dylan been doing? Like diving in the stands?
It's just I don't. It's not good. We need the Vikings to step up the celebration game. I think that's part.
Tavius Murray does the same thing every time too.
Yeah, that's his like little logo thing. So like I get that, but I don't know. At least they're not grabbing phones from under the goalposts.
They would grab like fishing poles for ice fishing.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. Because the fishing poles are a little bit shorter, so you could probably hide them.
A phone?
What's that? No, not a phone. Not the size of a phone. But I mean, it's like
in the goalpost.
The fish, the ice fishing.
You could get like one of those kids ones.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. You should maybe. I mean, well, they're listening. We know they listen, so you guys can have that.
Do like a fake. Have all the players like fake sit down in like ice shack or whatever, and like
yeah. They just call them fish houses.
Fish houses. That makes sense.
Honest to God, I grew up in a small town in Minnesota, Adam. That was the site of 99% of the parties when I was in high school. Was
in a fish house? On
the lake, in a fish house.
Weren't you guys a little worried about falling through?
I mean, the ice gets pretty thick up here, Adam.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were times where you would step out and there would be like some water, and it obviously had sunk a little bit.
It's always good when you're influenced.
Yeah, when you're hammered drunk. As a high school student, I didn't do that. I just hypothetically.
In what?
Drink before I was 21. Hypothetically.
Oh yeah, nobody did.
Allegedly.
I like beer. You like beer?
I used to like beer. I liked it too much, so I had to stop.
I don't really drink that much anymore either. I was college. That's what I went to college for.
For drinking?
Pretty much.
Ditto, brother.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a prediction on the Bears?
Sure, why not? I think I already said mine, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. What did you say, 16-13?
Yeah.
16-13 Vikings winning?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just making sure, Adam. Just making sure.
Yeah. I don't get to wave my homer flag that often, so.
The homer flag. God,
they've had 2 weeks to prepare.
I know, that's the thing. I'm gonna go 28-10 Vikings because I feel like the defense is gonna make it really hard for Trubisky. I feel like they're kind of gonna expose him a bit. And if they don't turn the ball over and score a little bit early, it could definitely be like 21-7 at halftime, 28-10. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
It'd be different, though, because Zimmer's never... I don't think he's ever gone against Matt Nagy, his offense. So
okay,
it could be interesting to see how that goes. Zimmer his defense hasn't really been known to do well against some of these new... spread offenses and stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. There was a really interesting article on The Athletic about Zimmer and Belichick adapting.
Was that like everyone taking? I think Zimmer mentioned a week or two ago about how 10 or 12 teams around the NFL are just starting to do everything they're doing on defense. So offenses are just
seeing more often and then
being able to figure it out. And so that's why he had to go back to the drawing board this season and change some things.
Yes, sir. And then
I think they're blitzing more than they ever have, and some other stuff too.
Yeah, changing coverage rules too in the more recent stuff. And they go through on The Athletic. They had a very interesting film thing where it showed they're doing next level stuff. Man, half of the field is a cover two, and then this half is a different look for. Yeah, it was a very good read and
always evolving. Yeah, but you like to hear things about that, like that about a coach, given how old Zimmer is. He could just be crabby and just be like, no, this is my defense. It's gonna stay the same. It's always worked. So, no, it's good to hear stuff like that.
Dude, totally. And honestly, if Norv Turner can do it, everybody can do it. They've been running the same offense for 30 years and stopped so he could be better. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Well, I don't know, Adam. What else do you got? Bears are here. The bye is over, I think.
Sunday night, right?
Yeah, man. Sunday night it is.
Two Sunday nights in a row.
Yeah. Kind of sucks, but...
Got to stay up, drink some coffee.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got coffee. I got a lot of coffee. We just need a better space heater, I think, is my only problem.
I'm just looking forward to going to watch the Monday night game. It's the 49ers and Giants.
It's going to be just a barn burner. I'm so excited. Who's playing quarterback for San Francisco this week?
That Nick Mullins kid.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The rock star. See if he can have a repeat performance.
And next Monday is the Rams and Chiefs.
That'll be a good game.
In Mexico.
Oh, that's right. I saw they were working on the field. They're trying to figure out the field because it's garbage. Yeah. Oh.
That's good. You put your two best teams in the league on the crappiest field you could find possible.
No problem. No knee injuries. It shouldn't be. There's nothing to... Oh, my God. What if Mahomes gets hurt? Knock on wood, because I really like watching him.
Or Gurley or Goff. Or Tyreek Hill or whatever.
All right. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Well, if it happens, then the Vikings will have an easier time in the Super Bowl.
And that I'm okay with.
Oh, well.
That I'm okay with. What do you do? All right, buddy. Skol, and I will see you after the game on Sunday.
Maybe. 19.
Oh, that's right. It's going to be too late. Never mind. I'll see you 1 week from today.
Skol.
Later, bud.